Latest update on Carlos Alcaraz, cancels training in Barcelona due to his wrist. Although he had booked a court this Wednesday between 12 o'clock and 1400 hours, local time, to prepare for his round of 16 match at the Barcelona Open Bank Sabadell Trofeo Conde de Godó against Czech player Thomas Macaque, Carlos Alcaraz ultimately chose to stay at the hotel doing physiotherapy work to treat discomfort in his right wrist. The world number 2 had to request medical assistance during his debut on Tuesday against Finland's Otto Virtanen, 6-4, 6-2, due to pain in that wrist. He did not want to overload the area ahead of Thursday's match against Macaque, ranked number 47 in the ATP standings. Alcaraz downplayed the issue, stating after his opening match in the Barcelona ATP 500 that it was discomfort he had experienced before, without major consequences, attributing it to the heavy match load on clay, one of the most physically demanding surfaces. Thus, the two-time Godó champion, 2022 and 2023, will not train today in Barcelona, just as he didn't on Monday, when he arrived at the tournament after losing the Monte Carlo Masters 1000 final to Jannik Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz raises alarm at the Conde de Godó with an injury. The Murcia native, leading 5-4 in the first set, requested medical assistance because his right wrist was preventing him from returning comfortably. After the match, he confirmed those pains. Carlos Alcaraz is already into the round of 16 at the Conde de Godó, but he advanced with uneasy sensations. He struggled to close out the first set against Otto Virtanen, ranked number 130, and raised alarms on the Rafa Nadal court when he called for medical attention at 5-4 in the first set. Something in his right arm was preventing him from returning normally, and the Finnish player began putting him under increasing pressure. After receiving treatment and a bandage, which he quickly covered with his wristband, Alcaraz finally broke his opponent's serve to take the first set. The second set was a different story, though he still didn't look entirely comfortable, showing inconsistency at times, for example, when he allowed Virtanen to recover a break after going up 2-0. Fortunately for him, Virtanen soon ran out of energy and began making errors, handing the victory to the Spaniard, who secured his place in the round of 16 without too much trouble. Now he will have 48 hours to rest and recover from the discomfort, which will be evaluated later today to prevent it from worsening. In the round of 16, he faces another tough opponent, Thomas Macaque. Carlos Alcaraz explains his discomfort at the Conde de Godó. Alcaraz did not hesitate to explain what happened at the end of the first set. Asked about the possible injury, he was clear. These are discomforts that come up. I've played many matches in a short time, with little rest between them. Coming here, with the travel and limited preparation, always leads to small issues that you have to take care of as best as possible. Now I'll meet with my team, my physio will assess it, but I think and feel it's nothing serious and that we'll be able to go out on court on Thursday. Will Carlos Alcaraz push himself to regain the number 1 spot? After his debut performance, the inevitable question arises, will he push himself if the discomfort continues? The Murcia native is clear about his goals in Barcelona, as he said before facing Virtanen. However, Madrid and Roland Garros are just around the corner. I've seen that I have to win the tournament here if I want to regain the number 1 ranking. The battle for number 1 that Jannik, Sinner, and I have is very beautiful and probably extra motivation to win here. Still, Alcaraz made it clear that leading the rankings is not his main objective, but rather to follow the path and keep improving to become even more competitive. He also did not hide his admiration for Sinner, who serves as a reference for his development. He is one of the players who makes me realize my weaknesses and helps me get better every day. After his impressive debut against Jaume Munar, 6-1, 6-2, Rafa Jodar will take center stage this Wednesday, 1600 hours, in the first of 2 round of 16 days at the Barcelona Open. Karen Khachanov, world number 14, was supposed to be his opponent, but the Russian underperformed and lost, 6-3, 6-4, to Camilo Ugo Carabelli, number 64, who will now face the Madrid native. Jodar recently crushed the Argentine in the Marrakesh semifinals, 6-2, 6-1, before winning his first ATP title. I don't set expectations, I just focus on myself. There will be expectations, but I'll try to focus on my own path. I'm still the same person whether I win or lose, said Jodar. I don't put pressure or goals on myself. I have to take it step by step and follow my path without comparing myself to anyone. Extra pressure leads nowhere. I feel very good and everything is happening fast, but I still have a lot of room for improvement, he added. He is now ranked number 55, a huge rise from number 911 a year ago. Jodar's rapid breakthrough on the ATP Tour has not gone unnoticed, including by Spain's leading figure, Carlos Alcaraz, who praised his young compatriot. For me, Rafa is a great player. I've followed him, and I think he's entered the tour very quickly. He had the opportunity to be a sparring partner in the Davis Cup, and I trained with him and saw what he was capable of, said Alcaraz. Then in Australia this year, I played a practice set with him and saw even more of his level. What he has achieved since Australia has been impressive. I'm very happy for him because he seems like an exceptional guy on and off the court, with great values. Above all, he's very calm. I wish him all the best. Whenever he plays well or gets a good result, I try to congratulate him. I think it helps him that there are other young players of his age coming through, like Martin Landelus, who is also an impressive player. I trained with him before going to Monte Carlo. They will help each other improve and rise. They have a great future, he concluded. Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz will aim to maintain their dominance in Grand Slams next month at Roland Garros, where they headline a strong entry list. Both played one of the matches of the century in last year's Paris final, where Alcaraz saved 3 match points on his way to a memorable 5th-set comeback. Together, they have won the last 9 Grand Slam titles, including Alcaraz's Australian Open victory in January, when the 22-year-old became the youngest man to complete the career Grand Slam. Sinner will attempt to match that feat by winning all 4 Grand Slams, with Roland Garros being the only title missing from his collection. Alexander Zverev, last year's finalist, and Novak Djokovic, a 3-time champion, are also on the entry list. Djokovic, runner-up at this year's Australian Open, will aim even higher in Paris, where he is chasing a record 25 Grand Slam titles across men's and women's tennis. The list includes all top 10 players in the PIF ATP rankings, including Felix Auger-Aliassime, Ben Shelton, Alex de Minaur, and Taylor Fritz. Last season, Lorenzo Musetti became the first Italian to reach at least the semifinals of all 3 ATP Masters 1000 clay events and Roland Garros in the same year. He won the first set against Alcaraz in their Paris semifinal but retired injured early in the 4th set. Daniil Medvedev completes the top 10 lineup for Roland Garros, where his best results remain 4th-round appearances in 2022 and 2024. And that's everything for today's update. To sum it all up, Carlos Alcaraz continues his journey at the Barcelona Open, but not without concerns. The decision to skip training and focus on recovery shows just how important it is for him to manage his body carefully at this stage of the season. With the intensity of clay court tennis and the packed schedule he's been facing, these kinds of physical setbacks are not entirely surprising, but they are definitely something to watch closely. Despite the discomfort in his wrist, Alcaraz has remained calm and confident, making it clear that he doesn't believe the issue is serious. Still, moments like the medical timeout during his match against Otto Virtanen remind us that even the very best players are constantly balancing performance and physical limits. His next match against Thomas McHack will be a real test, not just of his level, but of his physical condition as well. At the same time, the bigger picture is impossible to ignore. The battle at the top of the rankings with Jannik Sinner continues to add an extra layer of motivation, even if Alcaraz insists that his main focus is on improving day by day. With major tournaments like Roland Garros just around the corner, every decision he makes now, especially regarding his health, could have a huge impact on what's to come. We're also seeing the rise of a new generation of Spanish talent, with players like Rafa Jodar and Martin Landelus making serious progress and catching the attention of the tennis world. It's clear that the future of Spanish tennis remains in very good hands, and that internal competition will only push everyone to higher levels. So as we look ahead, all eyes will be on Alcaraz, on how he recovers, how he performs, and how he manages the balance between ambition and caution. Because if there's one thing we've learned, it's that every small detail matters when you're competing at the very top of the sport. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more updates as the tournament unfolds.